Hey guys, first of all, it's the first time I've ever done this, so bear with me. Also, my dog might come interfere and my children, so sorry about that. But I just wanted to record this video so I could talk to everybody at one time about a new program we're going to be doing here at Cumberland Pharmacy. So first I want to tell you a story. A man goes to a hardware store and he wants to buy a shelf for his wall. So he goes in, he was just looking for something basic, wanted to spend about 20 bucks. He goes in, an employee asked him if he could use any help. And the man was like, no, I know what I'm doing, just looking to buy a shelf. The employee, instead of walking away, the employee says, well, what kind of shelf? What kind of things are you going to hang on the shelf? What type of wall are you hanging the shelf on? And, you know, the man hadn't really thought of any of these questions. He actually was going to put something kind of heavy on the shelf. So he answered the questions, and lo and behold, what he was going to buy just wasn't going to be good enough. So the employee was able to redirect him and give him the things that he really needed. He spent more than $25, but he was happy because he got what he needed, and he knew he did. So the point of that story is the man who went in looking for a shelf, he really didn't know what he didn't know until that hardware store employee pointed that out to him. So keep that story in mind as we kind of go through the program. So part of our job is to recognize what people may need. They might not even know what they need, but it's our job to help them. That's what we are there for. You know, we might need to ask a few questions. We can also take cues from what they're getting. Antibiotics, pain medicine, stuff for a cold. So they might not even know what they don't know. They might know that there are some other products out there that might be helpful or useful to them. So we need to start training our minds a little bit differently. Instead of thinking of this as let's sell a product and make a little money, we need to think of it more as we are helping our customers to figure out what they need. And a lot of times they just don't even know that yet. So we're going to focus on two products this month. And they're products that we sell a lot of. But we're going to start working with vitamin D and probiotics. We sell a lot of vitamin D, we sell a lot of probiotics, so it should be easy. I've figured out that we sell on average about 8 vitamin D products and about 6 probiotics. So we're going to set a goal for the month, and we're going to try to double our sales with each of those products. But you've already done homework assignment several weeks ago, and I gave you a sheet to fill in what are the probiotics good for, what is vitamin D good for, and you all gave great answers. You're 100% right. Vitamin D can help boost your immune system. It is necessary to absorb calcium. Probiotics help with digestive issues. They can also help with your immune system, especially for people who are on antibiotics. They help with all of those side effects. So all the things you guys wrote down were right on. So again, we normally sell 8 vitamin D products and 6 probiotics. So we're going to try to double this for the month. Doesn't have to be any particular brand. It doesn't have to be Florigen. It can just be our leader brand. Doesn't have to be a certain type of vitamin D. It could be the 1,000, whichever. Prescriptions don't count. It's all about over the counter. But just the general products. So again, I picked these 2 products because they're easy. And it'll kind of be a good way to get our feet wet, because then we'll just kind of move on and maybe pick another product every month until we really just feel like we are able to recognize the needs of our customer as far as what they may need that we sell over-the-counter items. You know, if somebody is getting an antibiotic, well, hey, you know, have you thought about taking a probiotic while you're on the antibiotic? Somebody's buying cold remedies. Do you take a vitamin D supplement? Are you on any type of vitamin D? Because that can really help boost your immune system. Not to mention all the other health benefits that go along with it, especially during the winter, because we're not going to be getting outside as much, not as much daylight. So As we go along, these things will get easier and easier. The customer might not take your suggestion. They might just say no. That's okay. It's really not about if they buy something at that point. What we're doing is we're building trust and we're building that customer relationship. We're letting them know that we're here for them and we care about whether they have everything they need. So let's see. So how are we going to know? How are we going to know if we're able to, meet our goal of selling these? Well, I can print a sales report and I can just see how many products that we sell. But we're also going to have a little game, and it's a poker game. So I'm going to be putting up a piece of poster board, and anytime that you make a suggestion on a probiotic or a vitamin D product, you'll get a playing card. And we'll put the cards up under your name on the poster board, and for whoever ends up with the best hand in poker will win a gift card. We can do this as many times as we need to throughout the month. Doesn't have to be just one winner. We can have more than one. Then at the end of the month, if we met our goal, we'll just, have lunch for everybody. It'll be on the store. So we're going to focus on these two products, but, at the same time, really, we need to start thinking, and I need to do it as well. Sometimes it's hard when you get busy and you're just trying to get people in and out, but we need to start thinking about taking cues from what they're buying or what they're asking or what medications they're getting, and start picking up on that to other things that we can suggest. Again, it's really about making sure they have what they need. Going back to the story of the man with the bookshelf. He didn't know all that. And a lot of times our customers don't know that either. They don't know that their antibiotic might give them nasty diarrhea. They don't know that a vitamin D supplement can maybe help boost their immune system and make them feel better during the winter. So that's our job. It can go even further than that. Tissues, thermometers, Tylenol. Of course, we don't want to just start having a laundry list of 10 things and really start to sound like we're salesmen, because we're not salesmen. But it's just, taking the cues from the customer. Don't want to force anything on anybody. If, if they're like, no thanks, I'm good, that's fine. No problem. They may go out of the store. They may think about it later. They might come back at some point and, go ahead and purchase the vitamin D or probiotic or whatever it was. But we're just trying to let them know that we care. Hopefully, what will happen is we'll get an increase in our front end sales. What that's really going to help us with is, we know we would love to have more clerk hours. Well, there has to be a way to pay for that. Just things like that, things that we know that we need in the store, that we want in the store, bonuses, raises, whatever. It has to come from somewhere. And as you guys can see, when you're processing prescriptions, it's not coming from the insurance company. Our margins are terrible because reimbursement is terrible. And, we're filling a lot more prescriptions, but the problem is we have to fill more prescriptions every year just to stay the same as far as our profits go. So, we're doing a great job. You guys are working so hard. Our sync program is helping a lot, boost our volume and just making sure people are getting their medications that they need. But now we really need to kind of take it one step further and, see what we can do there. What I will be doing is, I'll have some little cheat cards, that will just kind of give you what you can say to the customer. The pharmacist, if you want the tech or the clerk to, recommend something, just write on the ticket, suggest probiotic, suggest vitamin D. I've got the display on the counter that's, products of the month. It's the vitamin D and probiotics with a couple little blurbs about them. Maybe just sort of point that out, to the customer that, those are the products of the month. Pharmacist picks. Also, we have the section near the register with all the cough and cold items. You know, just another good thing to think about as far as things to recommend, you know, when people are getting run up. So, you know, so if you have any questions or if you have any concerns about any of this, but just please come to me and we'll see if we can work it out. We're going to try to get this all going. The official day will be Monday, which is the 16th, I believe, that we'll start actually keeping track of how many of the probiotics and vitamin D products that we sell, and we'll take it to the 15th of December, so it'll be a true 30 days. You know, and you know, this should be fun. And actually for me, whenever, you know, I do recommend something to someone and they say, you know, thanks, you know, I'll go ahead and try that. And then the next time they come in and they say, you know what, that really worked. Thank you so much for suggesting that. I've had that happen, especially with probiotics. And, you know, that is a good feeling because, you know, what if I didn't say anything? The other part of that is too, on the flip side, I've had people come back and say, you know, gosh, I've got this pain medicine, or we'll stay with the probiotic example. I've taken this antibiotic and man, my stomach hurts, I've got diarrhea. This is awful. And, you know, I could have suggested something at the time that could have helped prevent that, but I didn't. And, you know, when that happens, it makes me really sort of feel like I didn't do the job that I was there to do as their pharmacist. So it almost feels like you let somebody down. You know, that happens with stool softeners and pain medicine. Somebody comes back and says, you know, gosh, I'm so constipated, I started on this pain medicine, had no idea. And then, you know, I feel bad because that's my job. I should have recommended that, or at least let them be aware of it. And I didn't. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, if we do this and we don't double our sales in probiotics and vitamin D, you know what? That's okay. As long as we are making the effort to make sure our customers have what they need and, you know, just at least promote the items of the month. I feel like those sales will follow. I feel like, you know, it'll happen. But if it doesn't, then, you know, how can I be upset about that? You know, we're just going to give it our best and we're going to recommend it and just see what happens. So you guys are always fabulous at what you do. You really care about our customers, and our customers know that, and they trust you. And that's the other part of it. You know, they trust you and they trust what you have to say. And the card game is not just for clerks and techs. We're going to all have our names up there, you know, to get cards and hopefully, you know, win the poker game. And like I said, we can do it as many times during the 30 days as we need to. There can be more than one winner. So anyway, again, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully, you know, this all makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know and we'll go from there. See you later. Bye.